Welcome to the Explainer. So, I want you to just look around you right now. Take a quick look. Chances are, something you see, something you use, or something you rely on every single day was made in China. It's almost guaranteed, right? Well, today we are going to completely demystify the sheer, staggering scale of the world's absolute largest manufacturing powerhouse. To really put this massive dominance into perspective, I want you to think about a number: 14. Now, according to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, China hasn't just recently claimed this top spot. They've actually held it for 14 consecutive years. I mean, that is a relentless, undeniable era of industrial leadership. Okay, let's dive into this because when you look at the entirety of global manufacturing output, the magnitude here becomes crystal clear. We're talking about nearly 1/3, roughly 30%, of everything made globally coming from just a single country. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. So here's exactly how we're going to unpack all this today. We're going to start with the scale of the powerhouse, trace their 4-decade journey, then we'll analyze their 10 sectors of dominance, decode the secrets to their success, and finally wrap things up by looking at their global impact and future. All right, let's get right into part 1, the scale of the powerhouse, understanding the scope. Guys, the numbers from 2023 are just absolutely astronomical. We're looking at over 220 million people employed in manufacturing and related sectors. To put that into perspective for you, that workforce is roughly the size of the entire population of Brazil. Together, they generated over $4.7 trillion in value added, alongside over $2.5 trillion in manufacturing exports alone. And all of this is operating across a deeply connected ecosystem of over 5 million distinct enterprises. And this brilliantly illustrates that this isn't just about some narrow, hyper-specific specialty. Not at all. China actually ranks #1 in the world in over 220 distinct industrial products. That literally spans everything from the foundational pillars of our infrastructure, like, steel and massive cargo ships, right on through to everyday smartphones and even future tech like solar panels. So as you can see, those trillions of dollars in exports certainly aren't an accident. They stem from a highly unified, incredibly vast, and deeply documented ecosystem of industrial capabilities that reaches out to nearly every single country on Earth. It's like a giant, perfectly synchronized machine. Moving on to part 2, a 4-decade journey. How exactly did we get here? Let's move to this and see how it builds, because this level of global dominance definitely didn't happen overnight. It is the result of a very deliberate 5-era evolution. Kicking things off back in 1978 with massive economic reforms, the 80s and 90s then focused really heavily on basic labor-intensive factory work. Then the 2000s rolled around and brought this massive export boom and deep global integration. By the 2010s, we saw a strategic pivot, shifting the focus to high-tech manufacturing. And today? Well, the goal is entirely focused on innovation-driven green development. Which brings us to part 3, 10 sectors of dominance, from traditional to high-tech. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is you can see a stark contrast in their economic evolution. On one side, you've got the traditional sectors that initially built the powerhouse, right? Things like mass textiles, heavy steel, shipbuilding, and basic chemicals. But then, look at the other side, which is the modern reality. They are leading the globe in complex electronics, electric vehicles, cutting-edge lithium-ion batteries, and absolutely crucial renewable energy equipment like wind turbines. It really is a complete evolution from basic foundational goods to advanced, clean technology. Let's jump into part 4, the secrets to success. Why exactly is China the leader? Well, to sustain this insane level of output, you absolutely need massive physical pillars. Uniquely, China possesses completely unbroken industrial supply chains. That means a product can literally go all the way from raw material to a finished packaged good without ever leaving the country's borders. It's wild. Add in world-class logistics networks, a huge domestic market, and a massive, highly skilled workforce, and you basically have an engine built for unmatched production. But physical assets alone don't just magically secure 14 years of consecutive leadership. You also need strategic pillars. We're talking incredibly long-term industrial planning and deeply rooted systemic support for continuous technological upgrading. This kind of long-term vision, when you combine it with active integration into global trade, creates a highly resilient blueprint for global dominance. And finally, part 5, global impact and future, shaping the world. Because honestly, an economic engine this massive doesn't just run in isolation. It touches literally everyone. It provides affordable products to households globally, sure, but it also supplies the vital components that millions of international businesses rely on just to stay afloat. And by aggressively scaling up the production of electric vehicles and renewable energy equipment, they're actively accelerating the global green transition. So the crucial point here, and this really brings us to a climax, is the transition from made in China to created in China. They've successfully evolved way past their historical reputation for cheap, labor-intensive assembly. Actually, they're now a high-tech creator, powering the world with specialized engineering, high-value manufacturing, and leading-edge innovation. Which leaves us with one incredibly important question to ponder. As China fully transitions from a place where things are merely made to where the future is actively created, how will this reshaping of high-tech innovation alter the global balance of economic power? It is a fascinating trajectory to watch unfold, that's for sure. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep seeking out the structure behind our complex world.